Okay, so we are going to work through some Scifinder narrowing strategies today. So I'm going to first of all log into Scifinder. And we end up here with the basic Explorer point. So we have a number of options that we can search for. We can do research topic, which is the default. That's where we'll start. We could do author name, company name, document identifier, journal if you know what reference you're looking for, document identifiers for a DOI, all sorts of other stuff. You could do chemical structure searches as well if you want to. But we're going to start with a research topic because that's typically where you're starting. So let's say I'm interested in photosystem 2. We'll search for that. And now we have 33,000 or 38,000 references. That is far too many for this homework, so we need to narrow that down. So I'm going to start just by checking the first box, which is references as entered. That means those specific words, photosystem 2, not the concept of photosystem 2. So we'll get references. So there's our 33,000 references. We have all of them here. We have lots of options for what we can do to look at these. That is far too many, so let's refine. So I'm going to go over here to refine, and I'm going to refine by research topic, just to get down from 33,000. Let's say I am interested in femtosecond spectroscopy. That gets us down to 103. That's good. That's better, right? There are additional requirements that we have, or limits that we have, on the kinds of references that are acceptable. So I'm going to further refine. And the order in which you do this refining doesn't really matter. But 33,000 was way too many, so narrowing the focus a little bit helps. So instead of the research topic, I am going to refine by the publication year, because that's one of our constraints. So we said 2012 or sooner, so we can do that by doing 2012, and then a dash, which tells us start in 2012 and go to the present. So click refine. That gets us down to 15, so now we're getting very close. Further refining, we said the document has to be a journal article, so we'll do journal. That will get rid of things like letters and reviews and commentaries and books and all of that good stuff. Fortunately, that did not remove anything. We're still 15. If you scroll through these in detail, you may notice that there are occasionally duplicates. So here's one, energy dispersive X-ray emission spectroscopy using an X-ray free electron laser in shot-by-shot mode, twice. Same journal article, 2012, same pages. Actually, this one is a preprint, it looks like. If you notice, we also have the database that it's in, and this is in Caplus. Let's see if we have any down here. Sometimes you get them from Medline as well, so we're searching multiple databases in this Scifinder. So occasionally we'll get hits from both databases. So what we want to do is remove duplicates. So we'll go up here to Tools and remove duplicates. That gets us down to 11 references, and I would say that's close enough to 10 to work. So now what we would want to do is to figure out, would one of these articles work, right? So we can click on one of them, and we get the full abstract. We can also get the full text, obviously to look at the article itself. And I will remind you that the full text links don't always work. Sometimes you have to search for the journal manually to see if we have access to it. Sometimes you will not go directly to the point where you can get the article, even though NKU should let you get the article. Also, if you're doing Scifinder, you can get to it from off campus, but you have to go through the library, and the same is true for the journal articles. You would have to go through the library in most cases. So you can get the full text that way. If we do not have access, you can get the articles using SourceFinder at NKU's library. There's a link to that in Blackboard. They typically turn around articles in, during the semester, 48 hours usually is common for turning those around. Once you have your article, you can also get useful things like who does it cite and who cites it. Now, if this is a recent article, there's probably not going to be citing articles. There may be one or two, but there won't be many. And that is because we don't want the analysis to be done by someone else. We want you to do the analysis on that article to evaluate it. But if you're doing older research, so maybe there's an article that is cited by your article that's from 1972, certainly plenty of people will have cited that by now, one hopes. Let's say you do something wrong, though. What can you do? Well, we can go back by clicking on the heading to any point in our search and then change how we do our refining. So I could change, or I could go back to references here, the 33,000, and instead of refining for femtosecond spectroscopy, I could refine for something else, some other topic, and that would change the number, obviously. Once we're done, and we have the list, this is what I want to see. So we're going to go up to print, and then print PDF all, summary with full abstracts, and then we need to make sure to include task history. So this tells me what you were looking at to get to this 11 a little bit. And we'll print that. And there you go. So we have the photosystem 2, and then our refining steps, and then the abstracts here. So this does a couple of things. Getting these 11, obviously you will be writing about these, or at least one or two of these articles in your homework, but also then I can look at some of the other ones that turned up in this search. If the ones you submit don't work out, I have some others to go on without a lot of effort, and I can see your kind of thought process. So maybe femtosecond spectroscopy doesn't work. Maybe let's go back up to photosystem 2 and try to refine that way. So that's what you would submit. You would submit this PDF of your task history and the abstracts, and then the article and the analysis of them. And that is it for Scifinder.